Hey everybody, welcome to Green Creek Farms. We're trying to get back on this video, working on our Trackhoe. We've been down for a good while. Of course, I don't know how long it's been since y'all seen where we stopped on it, but we're trying to get back on it now. I'm gonna start working on a spring that I had put on incorrectly and try to finish getting this motor put together and get it ready to go on the Trackhoe so we can start assembling the thing, getting it back together. So y'all stay with us. Hope you enjoy. First thing we're gonna have to do is take this injector pump top back off so we can get to the spring right here. Because the springs are in the wrong place. I think I may have to take the intake back off too. I'm not sure, but I've got one of the springs in the wrong place on the top of this injector pump right here. So that's what we're gonna do. This top's got to come off, but I think the spring goes back through here, and I've got to take it loose back here at the injector pump. Let me take this front off first and see. Maybe I don't have to take all this apart. We'll see. Okay, I got that spring off, but may not be able to get it back on. We'll see. That one short spring, let me get this video so you can see. I don't know if you can see down in here. You can see our mistake. We made a terrible mistake with this. Let's see if I can zoom this up. There is a spring right here. Right here. I've got them doubled over each other, and there should just be one small spring, and it's over the top of that. And the other spring goes with this and on this side. I know it's a little confusing, but even the video of the guy that showed me how to do it on YouTube, it's hard to show this, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart so we can do this. So hopefully I won't drop this down in here. I'll take that one off, this one off. They're both off now, which wasn't that big a deal. But the problem is that little one is on the outside. That one has got to come off, and it's got to slide off of here. Let me see if I can get the whole thing out of here and separated like it's supposed to be. Yeah, here we go. There, I got the whole thing now in my hand. See, I got this in my hand, and this is incorrect. This is not the way it goes. Okay, I've got to take this off of here. This spring right here off, completely off of this one. There. Now that spring there, that single little bit, see there's two of them here. This little bitty spring right here, is all that goes on that outside that I had on there just now. This goes by itself on there. And you don't need to stretch it. He said to be careful not to stretch it, because what'll happen, he said a lot of people take this timing cover off and forget to take that loose, and they stretch this out of position. But you see this is still good. See, it goes all the way back up like it's supposed to. See, it's closing all the way. So that's the idea, is get that spring in the right position. All right, I'm gonna hook this. The bigger, there's a bigger side and a smaller side. See, this bigger side's here. I'm thinking it goes on this back right here, because there's a big chunk of metal there that it has to go to, and I'm gonna put it on right there. Let me get my needle nose. I'm not gonna do this by hand because I'll surely drop it, and there's a chance I may drop it anyway, so I'm gonna try not to. All right, we're hooking it in. There we go. All right, and then we'll hook the other side right there. There it is. And now it's in there. You might can see this. See, here's down in the hole. And if you'll notice, I've got the one spring that I just showed you hooked on that side, and then the little piece hooked on this. Now, the other two springs go together inside each other, and one of them is toward the back there, and they hook on this front side. I'll have to get it straightened out too, so stand by till I get that done. I think I am going to have to take this loose, but we'll see. Let me get my flashlight out. I might can grab this spring, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to take the timing cover. I don't know, maybe it's going to be easier to take the injector pump out again and the intake off. That's what I'm going to try to do first. I'll take all this off, but I'd hate to redo this, but I've got to because it's not right. down inside those little holes are just nasty. I gotta clean that out. Hopefully this injector pump's gonna work. Now this spring that I had in the other one are these two springs here. This one and this one goes inside each other. They go together. And that hooks on here, and that hooks. So I have to get down there where I can see it. Let me get me a stool where I can see. You should be able to see in this hole now. And you'll notice there is a slot right there that this thing goes in. The throttle on the pump goes up in the middle of that. But these springs go in each other, and I'm not sure how this works. I may have to go back and watch the video. Y'all stand by a minute. Okay guys, I think I got the camera set right now. So what I got to do is these two springs that are together, you can see there is a little small one right there and then this big long one. Well, the big long one hooks in that little slot right there. The little short one goes in the end of that slot, just right there in the end. And then on the upper end up here on this end, after I have installed this piece, it goes in the top right here. When it goes in there though, on the bottom of it, it has a slot, and I've got to put these two hooks right here, in those two slots, okay? But I got to do it through this hole here, through this opening. So what we're going to do first is we're going to install the back side that we're going to put these two springs in here. And I don't know if I can leave the camera here so I can do this or not, but we're going to try it. Let's see what happens. This hooks in like this and rolls in. Let's see, like so. This is definitely not fun. I don't know who designed this. Somebody with real small hands. This must be Japanese made. There you go. I got that in there. And now I got to hook this in there. Get all of it inside and to the front like that. And when I did that, it went in. See, it's actually hooked on there now. Okay, they're both hooked. See, you can probably see that now. Sorry, dropped my wrench or my pliers. All right, you can see that I'm hooked here and I'm hooked here. Now I've got to grab the front and go up. We'll reposition. Okay, we've repositioned the camera here so you can see. I don't want to mess any of this up. Hold on, this has got to stay. See if I can get the light to shine here a little bit enough for you to see what I'm doing. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can see that. All right, now what I've got to do now is reach through here and grab both of these springs with this hook right here. And wish me luck. I'm gonna have to move my light because I can't have it to see. I can see the big one, but I can't see the little one. Okay guys, I apologize, but I just had to do it this way. I got it hooked finally on that back side, and I've got it hooked here. And I'm gonna have to take it out and pull this up here and try to hook this onto this latch right here. Maybe they'll pull out enough to hook on here. I don't know. I don't know if you can see, but they are both hooked on there now. Yeah, they're both hooked on right there. And we're going to drop this down in here and place it on. Let me get my tool out of here. This was not fun. There we go. We got it right this time. You can see that the spring is on there, is on that slot. It's kind of dark, but you'll see that they're both on there. So there we go. Okay, what I've discovered is the injector pump, which is right here, that I took out just a few minutes ago to put the springs in, is not moving. It's froze up. I can take and kind of tap here and get it to move. You know, this rod's got to move real freely right here, and it's not. I mean, it's just froze up. So what I'm gonna do is try to take this thing apart without destroying it. What I'll have to do, I guess, is take these 3 Phillips head screws out first. And I don't really know what I'm doing here, guys. I hope I'm not gonna mess nothing up by doing this, but I wanna take those 3 lifters right there out. And I'll try to lay them out here just exactly like they are so we won't mess anything up. And hopefully just be able to clean this and get it where it'll all move freely again. And it's gonna sound crazy, but I think you're probably gonna see this again in a later video. I have another tractor out back that's doing this injector pump is not working correctly on it. It's made the same way, so we're probably going to do the same thing with it. So this is a good practice. I mean, this may not work, but we got to try something because I'm sitting here dead in the water right now. So let's try to give it a try, see what happens. So first thing I'm gonna do is get me a little hammer. I'll just use a little small, I got a little cheap screwdriver over here somewhere, I think, that I can use. Yeah, this is good. It's a little black, my little Craftsman that I got. What I'm gonna do is bend these little tabs down right here, so these screws will turn. There we go. Got them down, and now we'll see if these screws will turn. Ooh, they do. I see how, oh, they've got a little flat spot on them too. I see that. I don't know how far you go with them. Let's see. Let me just do the exact same. Let's try this. Turn in upwards direction. Maybe they'll come out like that. See if that's the way they work. Ah, that's it. You turn them up and they come out. I'm gonna line these up so I don't mix them up, okay? This one's the same way. There's number 2. And like I say, guys, don't, you know, I don't know what I'm doing here, so this may not even work, but you see how I'm laying these out so that I know exactly where they came from. It looks like that's a shim right there. Or it's actually a little plate that bent up, so I'm gonna lay it right there. There's oil on that. And I'm hoping that this will release these lifters. And there's 3, and you can see they've got a slot in them, and the slot goes this way, okay? So we don't mess this up, I hope. Looks like there's some kind of maybe timing marks on this, I don't know. Let's see if this bottom half, this comes out. This one is smaller than the other 2. I'm pretty sure. Looks like it is anyway. Let me grab a magnet and see if I can magnetize and pull those out. I'm probably gonna really royally mess this up, but we'll see. Let's just see what happens. This magnet's fairly strong. Let's just see what it'll do. I don't know if it'll do any good or not. I'll try. That's a little washer. Oh, there's shims. I see that. And there's shims already in that one. And the shims didn't come out of this one, so we're going to put them back in here. These shims, I know they're very important. As I can see that. I did not realize that's what those are. That's why the hole looks different size. See, there's a couple of shims there. And those shims, I'm sure, are for the pressure that to change the pressure on these injector pumps pieces. So My guess, and I could be wrong, is that we got to take these loose, and that will take pressure off of some springs here to let these three maybe come out the other end, possibly. So we'll see. Put a wrench on this and take this loose. Not sure what size they are, 3/4. There we go. And I'm going to need to put them probably in a vise, so I'll go do that now. Set this right in here like this. Just cramp it down just a little bit so I can break these loose. This will get the top caps off, I'm pretty sure, but I'm shaking the camera pretty bad. Sorry, y'all. These need cleaning up real good anyway. They're in bad shape. I hope I'm not messing up here. I don't know how much pressure is on this. Oh, the whole thing's turning. Okay. Which I guess is okay. I just need to loosen these Torx clamps right here and take all them out. I think they're all going to knock out through the tops, what they're going to do. All right, T27 Torx. I'm going to go get a Torx on. All right, I'm reaching around on the back side because there's a T27 that fits in that. I'm going to try to... those are really tight. That came loose. All right, and I'll have to put some kind of wrench on that to help me. Boy, that sucker was tight. You heard it pop, but it come loose. Let's see if this 3/4 will turn real easy. Yeah, it moves real easy now. They probably all will, I guess. Man, they're froze up. They're not moving, that's for sure. See if I can figure out what's going on here. I don't know if the whole thing, no. The whole thing don't turn. When I turn this, that don't turn. So maybe this will just pull out of here. Ah, no, it screws out. All right. There's a spring in there. I'm gonna lay all this the same way. We're gonna have to really put the whammy on this. There we go. Alright. All I want to do really is break them loose. Then I'll screw them out by hand. I'm leaving that spring and all up in that housing. Laying it right back over here. Same way with this one. This is in really bad shape. Spring's still in there. That's where fuel goes. Maybe these will work to disassemble this, guys. I'm gonna see. So I'm bringing that out. I know y'all don't see what I'm doing, but you'll see in just a minute because I'm gonna bring the camera back over here. I'm just lining everything up so I don't lose anything. Now, hopefully, I can push this back out. Push these pieces out. Now, I think what I have to do is let these turn. Run this piece right here out, and they're actually, there's teeth in there that they're lining, that you may not be able to see them. There's some teeth right there. That this, and this has it's like a ring. It's like a rack and pinion, like a rack. This thing rolls out as these three turn, so they're going to turn and come loose. And as you can see, it don't have a lot of room here, so let me tighten this up just a little bit to hold it. And let me see if I can get my hammer here and I'll just kind of gently tap on this and let that come on. It gets to right there. I'm not hitting it hard, but it's stopping. It's like there's a stop holding it. See if I can see where the stop is. Let me try tapping it over again. That could possibly right there be a blind roll pin. I mean, I don't know. You can see it right there. Maybe I just ought not take that all the way apart. Maybe I just need to try to see if I can clean it up, soak it real good, get it where those see it's already moving real good now. I mean, the whole thing, this rack wouldn't move before, and now I got it where it'll move. Maybe I can just clean it up real good and put it back together. Let's just try that. See, it's going all the way there, all the way there. I mean, it was not doing that before. It would not move. Still don't feel like it's moving far enough. Probably don't move much further than that. I'm gonna shoot a little WD-40 to this thing first, if it'll clean up, then I'll put it in my cleaning vat. Okay, we took this thing over to the vat, and you know, I was gonna clean it up, and I just honestly forgot to record it. I didn't record that part of it, so we've come back, and believe it or not, I was able to get it apart, and you know, now we're showing the rest of the video where I'm reassembling all this. So I want to make sure y'all know that we did clean it up and got a lot of the things loose, and that rod that wouldn't come out, it come right out after I cleaned everything up. Okay, I've cleaned some of this up, and I don't know if I've got it all clean yet, but I'm trying to get it as clean as I possibly can. The way this thing is assembled, I got it all laid out here, but it's not that complex. It's just a matter of putting it together. All right, let's see. Let's take this out of here. Kind of see what we got here. Here's this and this one. This one should just be 3 because it's a 3-cylinder. This thing, I'll probably clean this up, make it look a little nicer. Should have 3 of these buttons here that hold those in. And there's the 3 plate right there. All right. I think I got everything here. We got to make sure everything moves like it should. Well, I did not know that come apart. That's crazy. Got to be careful of that. There's a washer under each one of these. It's actually not a washer, it's a shim, set of shims. Get this trash off of here. Okay, this one goes with this right here. This one goes with this one. And that one goes with that one right there. Now I'm hoping I can reassemble all this and do it right. We'll see. Got us a little more light there to make it where we can see what we're doing. I've already cleaned this component up. Now what I'm going to do before I start though is I'm going to put some WD-40 in this thing to give it some lubrication to make sure that everything's going to move. There is a little corrosion down in here, but I think we'll be all right. I got that moving free. See, that was froze up right there. It wouldn't even move, but I think it wouldn't move because it uses these plastic things right here. These things here. Let me move these off. Let's take these off here. 2, 3. These things. And they have teeth, and those teeth have to turn on this bar. And if you look at this bar on one side, see it's got a little set of teeth right there that are like a it's kind of like a rack and pinion steering system. See, it racks, and this, when it moves, it turns the injectors to add more fuel. Is the way it works. So the problem with this is it didn't want to move. It was frozen in this shaft right here, or in this housing, but I got it where it's moving real free now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lubricate this thing up real good with some WD-40. It's going to be a little bit messy to work with, but I don't really care. I'd rather it be real good and smooth. And I want to get all these kind of wet down a little bit. I've already cleaned these real good with some emery cloth. Here's the emery cloth. I used it and cleaned these because they were not wanting to move real good. I got them moving, and these little pistons right here that are actually, I'm sure these are little fuel rods, I guess that's what they call them. Make sure they're lubricated. We're just going to hit all this with some WD-40, just kind of wet them down a little bit, and hopefully we'll make sure my hands are clean enough to and everything else is clean enough to we don't have any trash hanging up in all this. So we'll see how it works out. All right, so now let me get in a position here where I can assemble this, because I want you to see every little step. The big thing to this is making sure that everything is in time. And the first part we do, I think, is the top. We want to take this top half. Now, I've watched a YouTube video on this. There's a guy that does this on YouTube. He don't talk, but he actually does the work, but he's not really clean. Now, he's got a little pretty dirty working area, and you don't make sure that everything is clean. And I'm trying to be as clean as I can here with a lot of this. And it may not be clean enough, I don't know, but you don't have to work in a sterile environment, but you got to make sure that everything that's going to be in this injector pump is going to move freely, and that's the idea. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this first one. I think it requires this piece go in first, and I've got to turn it so that it's pointing. Let's see, turn it like this. Okay. There's two holes. There should be three. There's not. There's only two. But we got to make sure this one's right too. But if you'll look, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little notch right there in the side of that. That notch has got to point towards this hole opening right here. So we're going to drop this down in here, and it may not line up right, but I'll drop it in. And if it don't line up right, I'll take my little pick and move it till it does line up right. And I'll just move it over right here just a little till it's straight. And there we go. It's good and straight now. All right, and it should stay straight while I'm assembling this. Now the next piece, let's see, it's going to be this piece right here. This will go right in here on top of this. And hopefully these are going to move freely. Let me double check this and make sure these don't bind up in this hole. They've got to move freely, and they do. They're going, yeah, I can see that they're going to move real easy. So, all right. So this piece goes down in the center right here, in the center of this, and I'll just take, I'll take my little things right here and grab a hold of it and just set it right in the middle. And it's going to move around, and that's okay. We got to make sure this brass washer is on there. It's got to go in the center too. And we want to try to kind of center it up best we can. This is a little bit tricky. That goes there. And then there's a spring right here. That, see this little spring that goes on top of it right there. Like that. And then the injector nozzle here. It's not really the nozzle. It's the I don't know what you call this thing. I tell you what I need to do though is I need to make sure that is clean so we can see through it. And I can't very good. I don't like that. We'll clean that up just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. I sprayed a little WD-40 through it and it's opened up. There we go. The center, make sure the center of that's clear. And then this goes right on top of that, right, just like that. And then you got to kind of wiggle it around a little till it gets over out of the way of that, so that centerpiece stays in place. And there is a rubber O-ring on here, okay, right there. But this rubber O-ring looks good on this one. I'm gonna use it back. Tighten this down. Tighten her down by hand, and then I'll come back with a wrench. I think, yeah, it's bigger than that. think it's 11/16 maybe, I think. No, it's 13/16. Let's try that. Yeah, there you go. Well, no. 3/4. Let's try 3/4. There we go. 3/4 fits it. I'm going to snug it down. I'm not going to really put a lot of whammy on it, but so we put this first one on. I'm gonna do this first one by itself, and then we'll turn it like this. So now we can see that this, I don't know if you can see this or not, but up inside this is turned the right way. So you can see the little notch in there, okay? Now we're gonna take this whole thing and turn it upside down, and it's kind of hard to hold it. So what goes next is, let me see what I got next. It goes in here. Doodle-doodle-doo. Got that right. Oh, okay. I see what it is. It's this washer. This little round washer right here goes next. Goes down in there like that. And it drops all the way to the bottom. All right. And then what that's for is so this spring has a place to sit. But then I've got to put this piece in next, and it has to go there. If you look real close, there's a notch. And man, this is really hard to see. I hope I can get this on camera. There is a little notch. Let me see. Now this is made a little different. You got maybe I could show you this on the camera. Let's see. All right, right here is a small notch. There's a wide notch, and there's a narrow notch. See, 1, 2, 3. That tells me this has got to point this way, okay? Now some models have got little bitty pieces right there that you can see. And well, this one does too. Here it is. I'm sorry. I'm telling you wrong. Okay, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, it goes like this. I'm sorry. I'm still learning, okay? This piece goes up like this. And if you look real close, you see these two little notches right here? Little notch right there, little notch right there, and then the tip in the middle. That goes pointed straight towards the little line, and you can't see it either, in this rod. Okay, see the little line right there? There's 1, 2, 3 of them. Well, no, there's 2 there, but there's a third one here. All right, you can't see it very good. There's one right here, and one right here, 3. 1, 2, 3 right there. All right, so what you got to do is that first one has to line up with that first notch. And you can see it somehow. Let me see if I can get it where I can see it. Well, you can't see that one worth a flip. Boy, it's a little harder to do this, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you, this is a tough. Some models have got this opening so you can see in here, and I can't see in this one at all. So you can't see those little things. They're hidden behind there, so it's hard to tell if I'm in the right position. But I'm going to look down through here, and you can see. Let's see if I can get the light where I don't know if you can see down in there. You can actually see the 3 notches in there. It's on this side of the wall. You got to look real close. I'm gonna try to hold it still enough that you can see for just a minute right there. I may be too close. Maybe we can zoom up on it in the video here so you can see, but I'm gonna hold it still just for a minute and let you look at where those 3 notches are. And I've got the notches right now lined up right dead center. Right, this rod is in here so that those notches are right on the very front. And that should make this be right on the very front. So now when I set this down in here, which I've done this wrong, okay? I've done this wrong, guys. Stay with me. All right, I gotta pull this back out because this thing, this don't go first, okay? For me to see down in there, I've got to have that open. Now I can see that notch. And then we're going to drop this down in here. Don't want this to move any. I'm going to put this down in there, but I'm going to put it down in there slowly. I'm not going to drop it down in there. I'm going to put it down in there very slowly with these things right here and try to line this notch up just right. Ooh, it's hard to see. I'm going to have to get over here where the light is so I can see. Guys, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but all right, now it's lined up just right. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Maybe with that light, I can kind of get that camera zoomed into this so you can see that. But you've got that little notch that's right here. Right here. It has to line up with the little line on this arm right here to make sure that we're in the right alignment, okay, if you will. I don't know how to word that, but we're trying to make sure everything, it's basically got to be in time is what we're doing, okay? Now that I've got this on here, I can go ahead and place this in there on top of that, okay? So that's next, okay? That's the next piece. You can see I'm rusty at this. I watched the video, but I didn't. I watched it actually last night, and then I watched it again this morning, making sure that I know what's going on. Now that goes down in there. Next piece is a spring, which will go right on top of this, like that. And then this fuel rod, and it has to be turned just right. What it does, I think it kind of goes down in there and drives itself into place. You'll feel it when you go into the hole. It don't just go in, it has to go in and kind of turn into position. Yeah, that's doing it. That went down in there, but I'm gonna have to pull it up just a little bit though, because I got to make sure that I got to put that. Okay, got to pull it up just a little bit because I got to put this piece right here on top of it, and it has a notch in it, so it goes across, slides right across into it. If I can get it in there. All right, I'm doing it right. I just got to get it in there. See if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna have to raise it up a little more. It's right now. It's gonna slide right across there like that. There we go. Okay, it hadn't gone down. This is not right. Hold on. This is pretty tricky. See this rod has got a little scarf cut notch in it right there. Well, that scarf cut notch has to go down into that plunger, which is this, a certain way, I believe it is. Let me make sure. See, this is the plunger that's in the bottom, and this is the rod. Well, see, it's got to go in there like that, but it also has to go in there and turn to lock in there. Actually, I'm not sure if it does. I don't think it does have to turn. Yeah, it don't have to. We just got to make sure that it's free to turn in there right like this. And it is, okay? So that's good. So all I got to do now is get that to go on down in there. And it's not doing it. And I don't know why. Let me see. Let me lift this back out of here because something's not right. Like that. There we go. Take that back off. Yeah, that's right. It's not really wanting to go down in there right. Maybe it needs some more WD-40 on it. Give it a little more lubricant because it should go right down in there. Let me see how far down it goes just by pushing it down in there. Then we'll pull it back out. It's bottoming out. I'm thinking that thing has to be turned a certain way. I don't know. I didn't design this thing, but I do know that it'll go straight through that rod, that piston right there, but it must have to go through. I don't know. Does it go through the bottom of that? No. Maybe that's some of it. Let's see. Let me look right here. Make sure if this is. See, this is supposed to move up and down too. Maybe that's where the problem is. It's got to go down against this and push this. No. It don't push that down. Ah, yes. See, that has to be free. And it's not in this one. This is stuck. This one was big time stuck. Bad. This little piston right here. Let's look at this. And does this thing not go down in the center of it? No, it don't. I'm not sure if that actually has to move. I don't know. Probably shouldn't have to, but this one's stuck a little bit too. I'm gonna spray it with some WD-40. Make sure this piston here, this thing here, is free, and it is. I don't think it goes up and down. I think it just may. I don't know what it does. I don't know. I just know that they need to be free. Gotta be free to move. Okay, well, I gotta figure out why this won't go down in there further. Something keeping it from going down in there further, and I don't know what it is. And the reason is this has got to be pushed down in there so that this has got to go down in there further so that the spring will contract down so that I can put this little pin right here in that hole to hold it in there so it won't go anywhere. Okay. Let's do this again. I think I may just be worried about something I don't need to worry about. Let's try again. Okay, we're gonna put that down in there like that. There we go. Now it's up enough that I should be able to get this across there and down in there. And that's the way that goes. Now, after that's in there, to where it's lined up, then this piece, which is next, goes, but you got to put these two shims on top. Let me put the two shims on here, lay them on top like that. Make sure there ain't no trash getting in there. There's a little piece of something right there. Piece of lint from that rag, I think. And then this has a little opening right here. That opening needs to go that way so that it can be held. This goes down around this and right in the center, like that. Something's holding it up. There's something holding my spring from going down in there, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, guys. This is supposed to push on in there, and it won't, and I don't know why. Okay, we're bottoming out against that middle. There's something I'm missing that he don't show in that video. He actually shows it, but he don't tell it. All right, I got that back out now, okay? Now, the problem is, this has got to go down in there. It's got to go a certain distance and stay down in there, and it's not doing that. Let me see if I can show you how it's assembled outside the housing here, okay? Okay, this, let's see if I can do this right. All right, this piece goes here. This piece goes here like this. Here's the way it goes, exactly like this. And then there's a spring that's on top of that. All right, that's the assembly there from the top. And this piece here goes in. and you got to turn that little notch the right way. There's a notch right there. The notch has to be turned so you can see it. Maybe I don't have that in there right. That notch. No, I know that's right, because that notch has to be facing where you can see it through that hole. So I know I've got that right. And then the next piece would be this, which would go on top of here. And this has to line up. This has to line up the little piece right here with the rod that goes this way. You know, it's in the housing. That notch has to line up with that as you go in with it. And then the next piece would be, I still got that in a cell. So it'd be this washer right here. This washer would go down in here like this, which I'm gonna lay it right there. That's how it goes. And the spring would go on top of it. Then this goes down in on top of all of that and through this and enters into that piece right there. And oh, and it's got to go down in there. I see. There is where my trouble is, I think, guys. That is my trouble right there. I just found my trouble by doing this assembly. So then the next piece is going to be this piece on top of this. This will go in here like this. And this piece goes on top of this like this. And then this piece with the shims, which I've got, they're actually, there they are. Let me put this back together. I let this come apart. I didn't mean to do that. This piece goes on top of that, and then that goes on top of that. And there's the complete assembly right there, okay? That's every piece. Not this one. This one don't go with that. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah, it does. I'm sorry. Told you wrong. I left one out. This goes like this. This goes like this. Yep, like that. So that is part of that. There is the complete assembly. If y'all want to look at that, there you go. So everything on the top part of the injector pump, the top side, everything goes into the top side, is this, 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 and this. Okay? All of this. No, sorry. Stops right there. Stops right there. Everything else goes in from the bottom side. But you got to make sure your timing is right. These notches have to line up with that rod. And that's really hard to show you in this video, but I was able to see it in that video that guy had, but he was really, like, I think he had the camera on his head and he was holding it where it was, but it was a nasty video. But I'll try to share a link to it, because you can go back and look at his video and see those alignment notches better than my video will, because my video don't show those alignment notches very well, I'm sure. We might can try to do that, but if it don't, I'll give you a link to that other video down in the description, so we'll do that too. So let's see what I can do here. I think what's happening is, in fact, I'm pretty sure it is, I'm not getting the rod. So now let's go back and reassemble the bottom half of this. I'm going to do the bottom half of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this this washer in, because we already got this plastic piece in. That washer will go next. It will go all the way down in there. This is not fun. Right all the way down. And then down in the hole there, you got a square piece. But if you look, when I move this, see, it moves around. So I'm gonna leave it centered and actually lined up with those 3 marks. Make sure that's right. And then what we'll do is we'll put the spring next. Okay. And then we'll put this piece in next. And what'll happen is that little square block part of that right there has got to fit around that plastic piece. And see, the problem is it won't if you don't align it just right. And he didn't show that. Okay, so we're gonna go down in here like this. I'm gonna pull it up just a little bit so I can get this. Yeah, this is gonna work this time because I know exactly what's going on. You learn as you go, I guess, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me raise this up. All right, now I'm gonna put this across it like that. And now the problem is, see, that won't mash down in there far enough. But what I can do is turn this piece here until I get it to line up. All right, now, 2 washers on the top. Then this piece on here. Now, what happens is I try to mash this down, it don't want to mash. But I can turn this until it does. Okay, look, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I just found this. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but see this piece is flat on this side, flat on this side, and rounded on this side, and flat on this side. So it'll only go in there one way. It can only go in that tube right there one way. And that's what I've got to do, is I've got to get it turned. All right, I got to make sure this is right. Let's line this up. Okay, that's lined up now. And now the rounded part, is right there. I'm gonna hold it kind of sideways because I don't want it to move, because I want to put this on. And now push that down in there. There it went. Well, you got to get it just right. Man, oh man, oh man. This is a bear, guys. This is a bear. I got to take it back out because it's not lining up. I mean, I don't see how that can do that easily. That's just complicated, real complicated. All right, we're going to take this back out. Okay, that's it right there. Okay, it just went in right there. It just did. It just lined up, and I'm gonna hold her down real tight and not let her go this time. I'm holding it. I gotta get this. See if I can get this so y'all can see. All right, this plate has got to go in here like this. And then this pin has to go in there. Now, here's another problem. This is turning with me. I got to turn it straight. Right, there, I got it. It takes a lot of pressure to push this down enough to get that back in there. And then we have to make sure that she's in time. There, they're lined up right there. And it's lined up perfect. You can see, you can see. Let me hold the light right here. Basically what you gotta have when you get done is having this flat piece right here lined up with that piece right there. Well, yeah, it does when you have the top piece lined up in the center, and it is. So this piece here is centered up, that piece is centered up, and that piece is centered up. And that way we know that one's in time. We know this one's right. This is right now. Oh, I hope you can understand this. It's complicated because it's really hard to get this thing together, I'm telling you. Woo, this just took a lot of work. But I know how to do this now. This is another notch on my belt, I guess you'd say, to learn how to do this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of those things that I think you're gonna have to do it yourself to really understand all the steps that has to be done to get this this one piece, this piece in here, because it's really complicated trying to assemble all this together and make it fit and make it work right. But I just got that one in there with I say no problem. It was a problem, but I did get it done. So now let's try to do another one. We'll go with number 2. Same way. Let's see if I can get it in there. So it's next. Go right here. And I won't bore you with all this. This will be this first one was just real complicated. I'm hoping these two will go together, do it a little bit easier. So we'll stop the video here, and when I get done assembling these other 2, then I'll show you the final components. So okay, I've laid this out now so you can see the last one. I've got 2 of them in now, and the very last one. The reason I'm doing this is because we didn't video us taking this apart, because taking it apart was a little bit complicated because we had so much buildup on this. This was really nasty. And I think this little rod, we couldn't even get this rod to move. We had to be real careful with it, and I had to clean it up. And everything was just kind of stuck together because it had been sitting out in the weather and not been used for a long time. But I got it cleaned up now where everything's working. I've made sure every piston is moving and every rod's moving. They're all moving freely inside their holes now. So this is the very last one it will do. And what you do is you put in the top half of this injection pump, this top half here, you're gonna put this piece, this, and this. And it breaks right there. And then what you do is you'll flip it, you'll tighten that down, then you'll turn it upside down, and then you'll start building this part. You'll put this part in, then this piece on top of it, then this piece in next, then the spring, and then you'll put this piece, which is the fuel rod. This fuel rod will be put in there, and it's got to go in there just right. Now, this is what I didn't explain very carefully, but I'm gonna try to show you. If you'll notice, this is rounded on this end, square on this end, and square on this end, and square on this end. Well, this thing has a rounded top right there and square on all 3 sides. So it's got to go in there just like that. And that's the only way to go. See, it goes right in there. That's the way it goes in. And see, if you try to put it in that way, it won't go. If you try to put it in that way, it won't go. Any direction, it won't go in that hole. It's got to go like this, okay? Now, the problem with this is when you've got this down in the hole, you can't see this going in through that spring. So you got to kind of line it up best you can as you're going in with it. And then in the end, when you start pushing this against that spring to put that keeper in right here to hold the keeper that's going to hold the thing down in there, you've got to kind of wiggle it and move it till you get it to go blump and this to drop right down in that hole. So that has to be done before we can assemble the rest of it through. I don't know what happened. I think it may have heard a voice. My GoPro has a feature where you can tell it to stop and it'll do it. And I think if you say certain words, it may try to stop on you. I heard it beeping up there, and I hope it didn't quit in the middle of my description of this right here. So hopefully it didn't. But anyway, the assembly of this is, you're just gonna have to do this on your own to see what I'm talking about. If you ever build one of these injector pumps, don't be scared of it. Just put it together just like this. Use my video or maybe this guy's that I'm linking down in the description so that you'll see his. Now the one that's in the description, the guy don't do any talking and he's not really being real clean, but it may be because the injector pump that he's using is just for demonstration purposes, and it probably is, but that way you can kind of see everything, because there's some little tedious pieces that, man, it is just so hard to show you, like these little notches right here that have to line up with the rod inside this injection pump. Showing you that is just almost impossible, but we'll try our best to make this clear to you. And then when I get done with this, we'll start reassembling the engine, and that'll be our next video for us. So, you know, I'm gonna stop right here and we'll try to finish putting the rest of this in. So hopefully this is a help for you. This injector pump was just really dirty and needed to be cleaned up and needed to be, you know, gone through so that everything would move freely, and we got it working right now. So I think I can put it back in the engine now and go ahead and finish the engine up, and that'll be our next project. So if y'all enjoyed this, you know, like and subscribe and try to stay with us. You know, it don't cost you a dime to like and subscribe, but please do it if you can, because we're trying to build our numbers and we're having an awful time because YouTube has got such a crazy I don't even understand the algorithm because it makes no sense, because I can watch videos myself where people are doing different things in different areas, not even related to what their video is supposed to be about. I mean, they'll do, and that's what we're doing. We're doing a lot of different things because I'm a mechanic. My son does carpentry work. We're building a pole barn. We got a lot of equipment we're trying to get going. There's a lot of things that we're going to be doing. We're putting fence up. There's a lot. It's just a farm related video, and that's what we're doing. And it's, Green Creek Farms is what this is. But for some reason, we just can't get the hits, and I don't know what it is. I'm missing something because we've been working at it. We've been watching other people's videos about what to do to fix our video, and that's what we're trying to do, is work towards getting ourselves monetized so we can make a little extra money so that we can finish this pole barn, because we had such an incident happen that I'm going to try to do a video for next. We had an incident that really halted our building of the pole barn. And I'm going to explain that to you. You're not going to like it. I'm going to try to be as nice about it as I can, but I'm not going to give you any hints about what it's about. But I will tell you in the next video, or the next video or two, I'll start talking about what actually happened to cause our slowdown of this pole barn and us not being able to complete it. And you'll notice our video started way back, and this pole barn's been sitting here. And there's a good reason for it, and you're going to understand when I start talking about it and telling you about it. So please keep watching and subscribing, and watch the next video or two. You'll get to hear exactly what happened, why we didn't get to finish the pole barn. And like I say again, you're not going to like the answers to why we didn't, but you will completely understand. So if you did enjoy this, like and subscribe and follow us along, and we'll see you in the next one, guys.